What up? What up? What up? It's your boy J Killer, aka Mr. No Pen No Pad, with Just Monkey, one of my favorite guys in the world. What's up, Monkey?
What's up, Jay? Glad to be back on here, revealing these NFC owners to the masses. You know, they're hungry for some content right now with Madden 17 getting
And
ready.
we got to give it to them. We got to give them the content, man. They hungry for it. We got to give them to them.
You got that right.
So we're gonna start. We're gonna get straight into it. Start straight into the NFC South. Let's get off into these Saints, man. I got the Saints on my screen right now. What you think about these Saints? What you think about them, and who has them?
Well, of course, everybody knows Captain Save the Ho. He's got the Saints. It's the captain making it happen. You know his stupid little spiel, whatever. He's got Drew Brees, of course. I mean, he's 36. He's probably gonna retire in a year, but he's still a good quarterback. Running back Ingram, he's a plodding type. He's like an Eddie Lacy type. I don't know. You got Brandon Cooks, his speedster, 96 speed. You know he can do some Perriman like stuff without the height.
Going back to the running back. What you think he gonna do with your boy CJ, man?
I don't know. I don't think CJ has the speed that he used to. He might. I don't remember what his speed was last year. He's 90 speed right now. He'll probably, run him out the backfield, run screens with him, whatever, do tosses or whatnot. But I have a feeling, just like usual, he'll be looking for a running back in the first or second year.
Looking at these wide receivers, do you think it's any kind of way that he's gonna try to develop Mike Thomas?
Oh, yeah. Captain will definitely try to develop Mike Thomas. I know they changed the progression ways this year to where it's not like, oh, I'm going to buy a superstar trait for my dude. It's like if your dude performs, then his trait goes up. So that's going to be a big difference in progression this year. So, yeah, I definitely think that he'll be using him. That'll be his guy. That'll be his quote-unquote Colston replacement.
I know before your boy Cap used to always kill with Jimmy Graham. I'm looking at the roster right now. It's no Jimmy Graham. It's no one close to even have that kind of play as Jimmy Graham. Besides, I don't know about Kobe Fleener. What you think about him?
I think that he's a good Jimmy Graham replacement that he hasn't had for like 2 years. He's 6'6". He's fast. He's really good. I think his only issue in real life was his durability. But I know that he was a top target for Andrew Luck when he was healthy.
How old is Kobe Fleener?
He's 26.
26. Okay, so there might be
he's a matchup nightmare.
Yeah, it might be a close fit. What about his defense? Wait. Let's talk about his line. Any kind of special thing you see about his line? Maybe.
I mean, Teron Armstead's a beast. He has been. Max Unger was the dude that they traded Jimmy Graham for a few years back, 2 years ago. And Zach Streif's solid. They are starting their rookie from last year, Andres Pete, on the guard.
Yeah.
People were wondering what they were going to do with him. I think it needs a lot of work, but you do have a cornerstone. At least you have one cornerstone in Armstead.
All right, getting into the defense. What stands out in the defense? What you think that Cap is going to kind of build around? What person is just screaming at you?
I mean, his defensive line, which is something he's constantly needed help on, it's been boosted by Nick Fairley. He's still rather young. He's got Killer Cam Jordan. That other end spot he's going to mess around with. But those are the two biggest spots I see on his team. And before it would be Jarius Byrd or Vaccaro. But they're kind of not as good as they were. I know Vaccaro had an up year. But I also like his linebackers. His middle linebacker, we're getting James Laurinaitis. So that dude's just going to roam. And that dude is just a good linebacker, period. But he's a really good Madden linebacker.
But with Laurinaitis, wouldn't you say you don't have that much of kind of time span to be in the league? I know he's been in there, 6-7 years. Shouldn't he be retiring soon?
He's only 28 on the game, so I mean he's got like 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
But the problem is it looks like they ranked him kind of low, so He might not be able to do as much good, but I know Laurinaitis of the past on Madden was just a problem. Like, he was
All
all
right.
over the field, no matter what his rank.
All right. So overall, captain, what you think he gonna? What you think he need to do? What you think he might do, or good, no good? What you think? Give me a prediction.
I think he needs to boost his defense. I think he needs to boost his offensive line. He needs to get weapons. Like, this team is just blah. But knowing captain, even with lesser talent, I've seen him do well with a refocused frame and the new Panthers owner and that team being the best team on the game. He might struggle to win the division, but I won't be surprised. But I do look for him being second, looking up for a lot of the Madden.
Okay. On to our next team, man. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tell me something about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh my gosh, the dude will not shut up. He won a Super Bowl like 3 years ago, and he's acting like he's like God's gift to Madden. And we all know him as Resistant Frame, Mr. Karate Chop, whatever stuff he does. I don't know, some weird martial art thing. But he's the Bucks, and I mean, depends on his participation. He can be good, but I know he's had some life issues recently, so he hasn't been able to. But if we can get a good Madden out of him, you never know. He's a wild card, in my opinion, in this division.
Offense. What players jumping out at you that he needs to build around? What player that you can see changing that division, possibly taking back that division from captain?
If he develops Jameis Winston first and foremost and doesn't give up on him, Jameis is a problem, and he's starting out higher now than he was last year. They gave the muscle hamster Doug Martin. They boosted him up for his. I think he was first or second in the league in rushing last year. He was a beast.
Yeah,
that dude is awesome. You got Mike Evans, the young receiver. He's still only 22, 6'5". He's got decent speed. He's a problem. Like, he's got Safari and Jenkins. I know that they got some other dude. I can't remember his name. Maybe it was Cameron Brate, but he was starting in practices for them. But he's got offensive weapons out the wazoo, man. Like, it's ridiculous. There is no way, bar looking at his offensive line, which might be weak, but
I was just about to go to that. Like, what about his offensive line? Now, you can have all the offensive weapons that a man can give, but if you don't have a line to block, to protect, to open up those holes for those the Doug Martins or whatever, it really doesn't mean nothing.
Well, other than his center and his right tackle, his offensive line is pretty young. And young on Madden's good because that means that you can progress them and they'll grow.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing I said before, the progression changing. If you're running the ball a lot or passing the ball a lot, depending on what kind of style the dude is, those dudes are going to progress even better. And they're not great rated, but I haven't seen a lot of, other than like the top 5 or 6, there's not a whole lot of super rated offensive linemen in Madden that I've seen anyway. A lot of it is progression-wise. And like I said, Donovan Smith, Alan Marpet, all these dudes are young, and they were actually really good in real life next year. So I would hope that the game in some way factored in how good they have the potential to be. But it seems dangerous.
Defense, who's screaming at you?
Gerald McCoy. How could he not? Gerald McCoy, that dude is just like one of the top 5 defensive tackles in the game. He's strong. He can put any move on you he wants to. He's just a beast. Between that and then their linebackers, I hit the Quan Alexander, who's speedy. You got Levante David. Like, Levante keeps getting snubbed for the Pro Bowl. That dude is amazing. You got Darryl Smith, who's been around since like the beginning of time, but he's still a good linebacker. Like, they just got talent, man. It's crazy.
So, overall, where do you think resistant frame holds up? What's your prediction? What has to happen?
If he plays the entire Madden and doesn't miss very many games, and he plays and progresses his players right and doesn't give up too soon, he has the potential to be above Cap and to be first or second place. His team starting out is better than Cap's. So, I mean, he has the potential to win the division and be up there. It's a tough division, though. But I say that he's fighting for that second place, maybe win the division once or twice. But he's up in that top part, maybe winning the division.
Okay, on to the Panthers. What you think about that team and who has them?
Oof, Panthers, best team in Madden. Lifelong fan, Kid Cobble has the Panthers. I've known Cobble for a while. He's been trying to get in the Madden League for a while. He's won Super Bowls in other leagues, but as we all know, that doesn't matter. Every league's different. Competition is different. I know I've used this word twice already, but he's a real wild card because there's so many people that haven't played him and don't know what he'll do. And on top of that, he has the number 1 rated team. So he has the first good season when people are just starting to see him play. His team's already boosted like crazy because he's got a great record because nobody knows him.
Right.
Then it's hard to catch up to that. It's hard to catch up to a team when they're already, skyrocketed 90 everything. So, that's who I think is going to win it, honestly. Not to get ahead of myself.
Wow. Offense. Who's jumping out at you?
Cam. Like, you can't say nothing else. Cam. You know what I'm saying? Like, Cam is
a beast.
Is the dude. Top, number 2 quarterback, I think?
Yep.
I mean, they still got a good running game with Jonathan Stewart. Artis Payne was actually halfway decent on Madden last year. I don't get it. Nothing sticks out about him.
I like Kelvin Benjamin, man.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, his speed's a little low, but I'm not a person that's obsessed with speed, man. Kelvin Benjamin's 6'5", can catch everything, aggressive catch, but you just have to worry if somebody's doing that. You got to remember this year, bat the ball away.
Yep.
But he's still dangerous. And you got Funchness, another 6'4" dude that's very similar to him. Not the same numbers, of course.
Yep.
And then you got your returner to, again, like they've got a mixture of talent. They still have young talent that can grow, but they also have some talent that's already established as well.
What you thinking about their line? Do they have the offensive line to hold up, to protect, to open up holes?
With their middle, with their 2 guards and their center Turner, Brian Khalil, and Norwell, yeah, definitely. He's been a journeyman ever since that movie was made about him, The Blind Side or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the other guy, Remmers, I don't know who he is. Doesn't mean anything. So, I mean, the middle of the line, yeah, if they're going to be running up the middle or doing if a lot of the pressure's coming up from the middle of this Madden, they're great. If it's like in previous Maddens where if you drop back too far, the ends collapse on you and the tackles don't do nothing, then he's going to hurt. But I've also seen in previous Maddens where I've had like 98 overall tackles and they just get destroyed.
Yeah.
But if he fixes tackle situation, that offense, boy.
Defense, who is screaming at you? Like, who on that defense? I already know he's going to say because I think the same thing. But,
who can't you say but number 99 overall Luke Kuechly? Like, that dude is just
I seen this dude, like, man, single-handedly. What was that game that he played in real life that he just took over? I can't remember. Was it against the Packers, I believe? But he took over that game, like interceptions to the house. Like, man, dude deserves it.
He's just ridiculous. And the thing is, this is the thing that makes him even more dangerous on the game. I had him 2 Maddens ago, and he was nowhere near ranked the way he was. I think I got him up to a 93, and his numbers weren't as good as they are stock right now. And you couldn't be anywhere near him. You couldn't throw near him. You couldn't run near him. You'd be like running to the right hash, and he'd be lined up near the left hash, and he would catch you and stop you for a loss. Like, this dude on this game is going to be a problem for that division. Speed, everything, and he's 24. He's going to be a beast for the entire Madden.
Yeah,
man. People are fucked.
So what exactly does your boy Kid Cobble has to do in order to, like, make sure that this is his division for the remaining of the TSG Madden 17 season?
Sure up the tackle spot, offense tackle spot. Sure up the cornerbacks a little bit because they did lose Josh Norman. But run the ball and frustrate your opponent. Nothing frustrates your opponent than running the ball down his throat 25 times, 30 times a game.
Right.
And this team, there should be no reason. Even if you're using Cam's a freaking Mack truck.
Yeah, I think he might want to kind of base his offense and build it around Cam, because I know they kind of give players in the league fits when they have a running back that can just multitask like that. But let's move on to the Falcons team. Who has them?
The Atlanta Falcons.
Uh-oh.
They go to Mr. McKay. There was some debate about this. It was originally going to be Cowboys 2K9. They switched it up.
Cowboys and we're going to get off into who Cowboys want, which I think is one of the dumbest moves ever. But let's get into let's get into okay. McKay has the Falcons. Mm-hmm. Now, who's screaming at you on that offense?
Julio.
You gotta say Julio. What he did last year was just crazy.
In real life and on the game, he's just unstoppable.
Yeah.
Honestly, I hate to say it, probably him and Devonta Freeman.
I'm finna say Devontae
are the only two that scare me.
Yeah, I like Freeman. And I if you have a good running game in Madden, then it opens up the pass game. And if you have a good running game and a pass game, then you win games. Point blank, period.
I just don't know if he's gonna have a good pass game.
Well, if he can establish a good running game with a halfway decent running back like Devonta Freeman, I believe that he might be able to open it up for Julio and vice versa. Like if he can get off with Julio quick, that opens up the run game. So to me, it's always good to have a good running back and a nice receiver.
That's true. It's just a big drop off from Tony Romo to Matt Ryan.
Matty Ice. I don't know what's wrong with Matty Ice, man. I like him as a dude. You know what I'm saying? But Madden has just been killing him every year. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Offensive line, what you think about it?
It's all right. I mean, they have Levitri, their big free agent signing 2 years ago from. It was either the Titans or the Bills. I can't remember.
I think it was Titans.
Titans, yeah. Alex Mack they brought over from the Browns. Chris Chester from the Redskins. They got him last year, I believe.
Yeah.
Schrader. I don't know who you are, right tackle, but he looks pretty decent. And then their rookie draft pick from last year, Jake Matthews. So, I mean, of the teams we've looked at the NFC South so far, they have one of the better offensive lines. I'll probably rank them number 2 to the Panthers.
I agree.
And the only reason I rank them number 2 to the Panthers because the Panthers have that really good 3 core in the middle.
Yeah.
But the Falcons are basically spread out really good across the entire line, which is not something we could have said years ago.
Yeah. And I think that's all because of Devonta Freeman getting them chunk of yards last year.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Defense, who's screaming at you?
I'll have to look. I don't see nothing really screaming at me yet. Maybe Desmond Trufant, cornerback. That'd be about it. He's a shutdown corner.
I was about to say, that's the leader to me on the defense. He's pretty shut down corner in my eyes.
I agree, but to me, I'm more of an old school mentality. You can take a mediocre corner and put him behind a heavy pass rush, and you're gonna cause issues. If you getting ready to sack the quarterback, that person, whether it be real life or the game, are gonna make a really bad decision, and it's gonna make a horrible cornerback make a great play.
Yeah.
And that's what scares me about this team is that the front seven. I don't like it. It's atrocious. Desmond Trufant will lock you down if you're not getting a pass rush. But if you're not getting a pass rush and you're sitting there covering for 15 seconds,
now they did make a move with your boy, the vet, Dwight. You know what I mean?
They did, but I don't know if Dwight's Dwight though. The one player there is a player that I think on this team. That nobody really used him last year. Nobody else really got him and used him and developed him into what he could be. I think Vic Beasley could be a difference changer on this team. He was their rookie last year with the 87 speed, outside linebacker. he would be a really good 4-3 defensive end as well.
Yeah.
That dude, just because speed kills on Madden and his skill set on the game, and like if he was developed properly, that could be a force in that
I
team.
actually like him. For real, for real.
And I hate to put that out there because everybody's going to be like, oh, he's like 79, blah, 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 blah. I would probably try to go for him. I run 3-4 defenses, so, but I mean, if McKay was smart, he would take him and develop him, and he would become a centerpiece of their defense.
So what does McKay have to do to win this division?
Upgrade his defense. Quite possibly look at a quarterback of the future. Those would be the two things. But I think that it's a tough division for him to compete in. But if anything he showed from last year is he knows how to trade.
Nice.
So he could easily trade himself into a better spot. But I don't know if I see him competing for the number one spot. And that's not being salty or being an ass because he beat me last year. It's just he was good. He was good. He was with a great team. This Falcons team is a big drop off from that Cowboys team.
Yeah, it is. It is. NFC South. I'm finna give you my prediction about who's winning it, and then I want you to give me your prediction, and then we're gonna move on to the West. I am going to say, drum roll. I'm still gonna say my boy Captain wins it, man. Just because I believe that this year, Madden 17, you have to have some kind of scheme, and I know this dude, Captain. Once he get in the lab and he bang his head against the wall, once he lose a couple of games and bang his head against the wall and figure out what's going on, the dude is going to be back in it. Frame got to show me something. Man. So I don't know. I'm not hating on McKay. I know McKay ball, but, you know, he had his team last year, and I figure like everybody plays good with their team. And the Panthers, Kid Cobb, I don't really know too much about him. You have the best team in the NFC. So I don't know. I'm still going to go with my boy Captain. What you say?
I say Cabo at least is going to win it the first year. I think it'll be a battle between Captain and Frame for number 2 and McKay's number 4. The only reason why I'm not sold on Captain, and I normally would be, is he went 8-8 multiple times last year. He lost the division to RJ last year. Kid Cobble's not RJ with the Panthers. The Panthers are a better team. Frame, if he's on his game and his plan. If there's an inspired Captain, it's different. I don't know if he's going to be. But I take Kid Cabo number 1, Captain and Frame 2, 3, either or. It could flip-flop, and then McKay.
Nice. Okay, on to the NFC West. Probably one of the toughest divisions in real life, but from the looks of it, I don't think it might be that tough for Madden 17 TSG. Let's get off into the Seahawks, the team. Who has them?
Well, you know, your boy Corn. He's got him. He's had the Seahawks. He's been entrenched in the Seahawks since he hasn't gotten the Redskins in a few ever, actually. He is from Baltimore, so he either wants the Redskins or the Ravens, but he doesn't get them. So since he hasn't been able to get them, kind of like Chubbs with the Titans, I've been like, hey, pick a team. You can stick on that so you're not bouncing around all the time since you're never getting your team.
Yeah.
But that's Corn.
Offense. Who? Just tell me who's jumping out at you on the offense, man.
I mean, Russell Wilson, obviously. They gave Doug Baldwin a boost. You got Insta Jimmy Graham, who got rated number 5 tight end for doing nothing.
Yeah.
Doing nothing. 2 touchdowns and like 600 yards. And that makes you the number 5 rated tight end.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Graham, Russell Wilson, running game's not necessarily there. Thomas Rawls, what is he? Who is he? I know he had a decent filling in for Beast Mode last year, but does he translate to Madden? I don't know. And
you know what? It all comes down to how this Madden 17 is going to be played to actually see if a guy like Thomas Rawls is going to be effective or not. You know what I mean? Seeing that he has the speed, but probably lacking in the trucking or maybe ball vision or something like that. Not necessarily your beast mode type of player. Offensive line, what you think about him?
Trash.
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 It's trash.
Trash.
I'm going through it. Right now. Yeah.
I mean, I know they drafted some young dudes, but still trash.
Yeah.
It's trash.
So
No beast mode, no offensive line.
Which is a good segue to the next one. So defense is probably going to have to win this dude game. Who is jumping out at you on defense?
I mean, who isn't? That would probably be a quicker answer to that. I mean,
everybody will probably
Earl
deflect
Thomas
and say Richard Sherman, but
it's Earl Thomas.
My favorite player on this team is Cam. You know what I mean? From what I seen last year in real life, he then became my favorite player. Cam is the backbone of this defense. That's how I feel, man.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I think Earl Thomas is right up there too. Earl Thomas even returns kicks and shit. Like, what the hell? Like, your free safety is a kick returner at the same time. Like, that shows you like his speed and his ability once he gets the ball in his hands.
He is a beast. So Earl Thomas, Cam, you got Sherman, you got Bennett, you have
Bobby Wagner, KJ Wright.
Man,
like, it doesn't stop. You know what I mean? Ataya Rubin that they got from the Browns last year. I know he's not as great on this game, but he's a high strength guy, which is good on this Madden. Good on Madden. Cliff crazy. Averill. Like, it's just like almost every starting position is somebody great.
That's crazy. So what does your boy Cohen has to do to take over this division?
Stop giving a fuck what others think about his game.
Yeah.
Too many times when he's had an even better team, it gets in between his ears where he's like, oh, stop doing that because I don't want nobody to complain.
Yeah.
Do something and then wait till somebody complains. Don't do it because you fear they're going to.
Right.
Because I played Corn a million times and nothing that he's ever done was cause for complaint.
Yeah. Some of my hardest games was against Corn, man. Like, we played, and I swear to God, it's like the fourth quarter. It's 6-6. Straight up. 6-6. 2 field goals apiece. It's crazy, man. Like, he's a legit player.
Yeah, he just got to get out of his own head. Stop worrying about what everybody else thinks about his gameplay. Because he doesn't do anything wrong.
Next, we going to the L.A. Rams.
That's so weird to hear that.
I know, right? Like, I almost screwed it up and said St. Louis. But the L.A. Rams, man. Who has them? Let us know.
Jump man. I've been waiting.
Now, before we get off into, I need to know, is Jumpman New Bloods? Is he? I don't know. Like,
yes.
So he is new. All right, big shout out to Jumpman in, man. New Bloods in the house. New Bloods.
Yeah. New Bloods.
Offense, who's jumping out at you, man?
Oh, man.
If you don't say Gurley, I'm finna say if you don't say
Todd
Gurley,
Gurley. Like, I was trying to think of somebody else, Todd Gurley, but I mean, that dude was a monster last year.
Yeah, what he did last year.
And then even last year with Ruger running with that dude on Madden.
Yeah.
That dude was ridiculous.
Now, one thing I want to say is quarterback before we get off into anything. I don't want to pass them up. Who would you start, Casey Keenum or Jared?
Jared Goff, just because he's 4 years younger.
Really?
Yeah.
Start him?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Because remember what I said, with progression-wise, it's not – you will be able to do the same progression style with, game planning and stuff, or whatever they called it.
Yeah.
And it'll boost all quarterbacks, so you don't necessarily need to play him. But at the same time, if you play him and he does well, he could get a superstar progression or whatever progression, and then boom, he moves up even quicker.
Yeah, and these are facts. These are facts from Madden 17.
Yeah. So I mean, you got Todd Gurley. What you gonna do? You gonna run the ball? You got Jared Goff in the center. Run the ball 25, 30 times a game.
Yeah.
Short passes with Jared Goff.
Yeah. Not to mention, you have a couple nice wide receivers. I wouldn't say they superstars, but Kenny Britt and your boy Speedy Gonzalez. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Tavon Austin. Just dump it off to him. Let him do the work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, just work small passes, run the ball, boost this. Just don't throw a lot of interceptions. Throw safe passes. number one, you might win a division doing that shit because it'll frustrate people. People hate that. Oh my gosh, he's throwing the flats. Oh my gosh, he's dragging. Oh my gosh, he's like, because people will just be like, oh man, I can't stop this. So running and doing that's a formula to win, period. But especially a formula to win if you got a quarterback that you're trying to progress. And
people seem to hate what they can't stop. You dig?
Yep.
Offensive line, what you think?
Decent. I didn't know they moved Greg Robinson, their first rounder from last year, to tackle, but he's young. Garrett Reynolds is okay. Center, I don't know him. Jamon Brown, he was a rookie this past year. He's decent, but he doesn't look like he got rated very well. And haven't seen another rookie. So they got young people across the line. It's not a good line. It kind of reminds me of like some of the other lines that were really bad, like the Seahawks line, but at least with the Rams line, it's got potential from some of the players that I know, but it's nothing to write home about.
Defense, who's screaming at you?
Aaron Donald, easily. Number one rated defensive tackle on the game. Dude has 83 freaking speed at defensive tackle.
Yeah.
He's faster than some linebackers. Seriously?
Right.
Like, it's a problem. You're not running away from him as a quarterback. I think RG3 has 85 speed. I know there's faster quarterbacks. That's just the one I could think of off the top of my head.
And I would get the full potential on my defense by running the 4-3 just so I can have, you know what I'm saying, what's his name, Brockers out there.
Oh yeah. And I mean, I know they moved Alec Ogletree to the middle. He's a fast linebacker. The dude that I would look out for that's going to be dangerous on that team, because there's a lot of teams that started last year with Deion Buchanan and the Cardinals playing linebacker. The Rams moved Mark Barron to linebacker halfway through the season last year. And I don't know if you remember Mark Barron from Alabama. He played for the Bucs for a little while. That dude's a thumper. He's going to cause fumbles. I don't care what his rating is.
Yeah.
He's got 86 speed at an outside linebacker, and he's going to hit you. That dude is going to be a difference maker behind that defensive line.
Now I'm looking at the cornerbacks, man. I don't know.
I think they kind of shitted on their cornerbacks because Tremaine Johnson's actually a top-ish flight cornerback. I know he actually got the franchise tag this year as well. He's a beast. I know they let what's his face go to the Giants, Janoris Jenkins. But I think Tremaine Johnson was better than him this year. But I think Jenkins got rated higher. I don't understand it. Madden logic, I guess, is what you got equated to. But game-wise, yeah, they're nothing special. Safety, free safety at least is horrible.
Yeah.
You got a lot of work.
What about, I'm looking at this guy, TJ McDonald.
TJ McDonald was actually a really nice safety last year in real life. Decent in Madden as well. He's still young, 24. He's already an 83. He's got decent speed, and I say decent because 87 speed to me for a strong safety, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I like it because, once again, I'm more of an old school dude where I'm traditionally going to have that safety play around the box. He's traditionally going to be a hard hitter, pursuit kind of guy. Love my free safety play the deep middle. So I actually like TJ McDonald a lot on the game, and like I said, in real life last year, he was nice. Yeah. And he's young, so I mean he's easily progressible. He's got height, 6'2".
So what exactly does your boy Jumpman has to do to take over this division with the LA Rams?
He might have to do slight upgrades to the cornerback position, but I'm not saying he definitely has to because what I said before, a great pass rush, you don't need great corners. And he's got one of the best, if not the best, pass rush on the game.
I agree.
Boost his offensive line. But more so than anything on offense, progress Goff. If you progress Goff, you can make that offense work. run the ball, progress Goff, make that offense work. I think it's gold.
Nice. Next, we move on to the Arizona Cardinals. Who has them?
The man who has him, and I'm not trying to spoil the award that he won, but is the most hated in TSG. Who likes to dub the NFC the SNFC. Sincere Jones. Sin versus everybody, whatever you want to call him. He lives in Arizona. He chose the Cardinals.
That's another subject. Offense. Who is screaming at you on this team?
It's just filled with people. You still got Larry Fitz.
Yeah.
But he's not the same Larry Fitz.
But they gave him a nice I don't know, man.
They gave him a nice overall, but his speed being 86, he's got tight ends out running him. And once again, I'm not a big speed guy, but I know a lot of people look at him and be like, he's trash. Their wide receiver core overall jumps out at me. Larry Fitzgerald, Michael Floyd, John Brown, who I was telling Twan about like 2 years ago. That dude is just flat out fast.
Yeah.
Like I saw him against the Eagles 2 years ago. And he just cooked everybody. He was all by himself in the middle of the field, like 50 yards down the field. That dude's just fast. Like their receiving core is legit. And Carson Palmer's a good quarterback. And plus they got that Jermaine Gresham from the Bengals. Like their offense is legit. I don't know. They gave David Johnson a decent rating too. So I mean, from every position on the skill position, that offense is good.
Yeah, they did. What about the offensive line? What you think about it?
Probably the best overall offensive line in that division. It's got a few holes at center with 2 old people and at right tackle. But the rest of that line, Jared Bell here, they got 2 years ago from the Raiders. You had Yapati, who they got last year from the 49ers. You got Evan Mathis, who they signed from free agency from, I believe he was the Broncos, but he came from the Eagles. So at least for Madden, at least for this year, that offensive line is pretty legit. It may have some work to do in the future when Mathis leaves or degrades or center position, but it's one of the better lines I've actually seen on this game.
Defense, who's screaming at you?
Let me see. Tyrann Mathieu. Could I say anybody else? Patrick Peterson.
I'm finna say, you gotta say Pat P. Gotta say Pat P, man.
That's true, but I just think Mathieu, I agree, Pat P, but Matthew's higher rated. He's the number 1 rated safety. Patrick P is not the number 1 rated corner. Mathieu has versatility. You can play him at corner or safety. Like, I'm just a big Tyrann Mathieu fan, even though he's only 5'9". But he's just.
I'm finna say, like, his height is kind of a problem, but he plays like crazy. So
he's just all over the field. The Honey Badger's just crazy, man. Like, seriously. Like, that dude's legit. But Pat P, you can't go wrong with that one. Can't go wrong with a few players on their team, actually.
I'm going through his linebacking core, and Chandler Jones is probably the only guy I see that's really like legit.
Well, I'm kind of surprised to see Chandler Jones outside linebacker. I thought he was more of a defensive end coming from New England. Deion Buchanan's a problem, though. You can't overlook him, though, Jay.
Yeah.
I mean, he might only be 6'1", 208, but he's got 89 speed.
Yeah.
And he's got coverage numbers because he was a safety. They converted to middle linebacker. A lot of teams are doing that now. So I don't know. Linebacking core probably has some work to do. Defensive line, some work to do. But they got some pieces. They got the rookie and Dichi, I don't know how to say his name, from Ole Miss. He was at one point in time rumored to be a top 5 pick. But the middle linebacker, Chandler Jones, cornerback, safety, those are his strengths there.
So what you think he has to do to take over this division?
I don't think he has to do much. If he plays like he played last year, which some people will say was a fluke, some people say it won't because they remember his Jets days and other years. he should be able to do really well. That offense is explosive. The offense is way better than the one that he had with the Lions last year. He has some work to do on defense, linebacker, defensive line, but I think he's the front runner.
So
should be Corn with his team, but I think he's the front runner.
Okay. San Francisco 49ers. San Fran. Who has that team?
Dumbest move of the offseason.
Yeah, now we can talk about it.
Dumbest move of the offseason. You wanted the Falcons, you wanted to play captain. All this trash talk. But you all got in the Illuminati chat and started like, oh, we'll take one for the team, and you need the stuff to redeem yourself. So on a redemption tour, going from the Cardinals to the 49ers, Cowboys 2K9.
Yeah.
Worst move ever.
Yeah, I agree.
Arguably the worst team on the game.
I would definitely agree. Like him taking his team and not getting it, now that I know that they had a chance to get the Falcons, like that was a crazy move. I wouldn't have. Oh man, I'm going through this team and I don't see nobody really that's just jumping at me on offense. Like
Kaepernick's trash.
Man,
Max are trash. I mean, Carlos Hyde's not trash. He's all right.
He's not really trash.
I'm a Torrey Smith fan, but I went to high school with him, so I'm biased.
Man,
and I'm Baltimore. Baltimore Torrey Smith was good. Put it that way. Offensive line, they got Joe Staley.
Yeah.
No.
No.
There's no point even talking about their offense, honestly.
Yeah, I'm just finna go ahead and skip defense. You see anything on defense that's
Navarro Bowman?
Yeah.
Aaron Lynch is a decent linebacker. Eric Reed is a good safety. He's young, but I don't know. He wasn't rated that well. Just because I guess they had a bad year. There's a thing going into last year's Madden, Antoine Bethea was like a 90 or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
70-something. There is one player on his team two, honestly, that could cause a problem on his defensive line. Number one is Eric Armstead. I was a big fan of his coming out of Oregon last year, and he's now with Chip Kelly. Coincidence. He's big, he's fast, he's like a Calais Campbell type. 6'7", 300 pounds, basically strong. Not as strong as some others. And then the other guy, which is another Oregon Duck from this year's draft, DeForest Buckner, who doesn't have as much strength, but he has speed, he has size, 6'7", and from Oregon, Chip Kelly's their coach. Those are two players they could develop and do well, maybe with an Aaron Lynch as well, linebacker, and Eric Reed. Other than that, though, man, this team as a whole is garbage.
Yeah, what do Cowboys have to do to make even a push at the title for NFC West?
Beg for a special exemption from the commissioners to be allowed infinite number of trades. Honestly, I'm not trying to be an ass, but honestly, because he's basically got to gut his entire team. Like, he has to trade Navarro Bowman. Like, that sounds weird, but he's 27. By the time he'll get this team straight, just by drafting and doing 2 or 3 trades, Bowman's value would be...
I don't understand the move he made to get this team. I don't understand.
He did it for the fam.
Man.
Sorry to say, you my boy, but I would never be like, hey, Jay, I'm going to be the Panthers. Yeah, unless, you take the Panthers and I'll take the 49ers.
Unless he's just like, man, I'm not really going to play this season. I don't know, but NFC West, who you think, first I'm going to give you my prediction of who I think going to win, and then you give me your prediction. I hate to say it, you know what I'm saying? I believe he gonna take that division just because of his performance that he did on Madden 16. The dude was a dominant force. Corner Strike's a dominant force, but you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give it to him, man. NFC West, that division is kind of lacking unless Corn can put, you know what I'm saying, something together. Jumpman, I know you new bloods. We got to get you in the chat, you know what I'm saying, so I can find out more about you. But unless Corn can put something together with that team, a good scheme, I don't see nobody taking it away from Sin based on his performance on Madden 16.
Sin's gonna win it at least the first year. But what I got to say with that is that Sin has the best offense in that division, but he's going against perhaps the two best defenses in Madden. With that Rams defensive line, front seven, and that Seahawks defense overall, that's tough. So those will be good matchups. I think that if Jumpman develops his quarterback right, he could easily contend for that number one spot, at least a wild card. And Corn, his offense is lacking, but his defense is great. So that should carry him. So he has the same opportunity. Jumpman and Corn have the opportunity to overtake Sincere Jones, but I don't know if they can survive a slow start from their teams and Sin dominating and boosting his team up with all hell. They can't survive that.
See, the only thing I believe by having a bad team, the only thing that I can see a person that has a bad team to help them is you have to have you already got the worst players. You have to have some kind of scheme, some kind of game plan to like beat a better team. And without that, I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be real tough.
Cowboys' curl comeback route scheme isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
Not with that team. Not with Blaine Gabbert throwing the ball or
whoever he gonna have back there.
Kaepernick
running the West Coast offense. I don't know. But on to the NFC North. You know what I'm saying?
Probably that's a whack person that we're gonna talk about first.
The best division in the world. You feel me? Let's get off into the first team we going to. The Vikings, you know what I'm saying? They won a Super Bowl last year. You dig? They did their thing, man. You can't knock them. You can't knock them. Who got the Vikings, man?
You do. And I'm gonna let you talk about your team. I'm not gonna talk about them. You talk about them.
I appreciate
you talk
that,
about
man.
them.
I appreciate that
because
it's my team. Don't nobody know the team like I know the team.
We'll probably be here for about 30 minutes, but go ahead and talk about it.
So, off real, you know, the offense is built behind Adrian Peterson. Yes, y'all know how I do it, man. Adrian Peterson always running back of the year. But Madden 15 or 16, one of those Maddens, he had like the number one rushing yards for a long time.
15.
And this offense is built around the running back, the running game, opening up those short routes over the holes, and then once I hit you with the short routes, and then I'm gonna try to beat you over the top with some of my speedy wide receivers in Diggs, or we got that new boy just came on, Quan Treadwell. Ain't that your boy? Ken people, but we gonna get into him. We're gonna talk about that in a second. But offensive wise, man, we gonna build it around Adrian Peterson and work on the young boy, Teddy Bridgewater. The line. Now, I'm not too. What you think about this? Now, give me your. If I'm biased, what you think? What's your honest opinion about the offensive line?
Oh, sorry, I was dozing off.
Oh my God!
It happened.
Oh my God!
I was looking at my phone.
Oh my God!
But it's not good for the most part. Flemings is young. He was your draft pick last year. He's young. He can develop him. Alex Boone, I like his strength. He's 28. He's getting that borderline. He's an 82, so I don't know how much further you can progress him before he starts regressing. John Sullivan, good. Berger, good. You might move Berger to guard or something.
Yeah, he's definitely going to guard.
Because they're both older, so you have to use them now. So maybe move him to like left guard or something.
Yeah, he definitely take that left guard spot.
Left tackle, you got Khalil.
Yep.
I liked Khalil coming out, but he's not as good as his brother, Ryan, in Carolina. But he's decent. It needs some work. I see where you can move some pieces around to make it work.
Yeah, definitely.
What happened to Phil Loadholt? Did he retire?
I think he retired. Yeah,
Oh,
he came off that injury last year.
yeah.
So I think he retired.
Oh, and the wild card is that you have this line actually better than I thought. You have Andre Smith came over from Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And he's got that 95 strength. So you could even kick Matt Khalil inside too. Khalil on one guard and dude on the other guard, or kick Andre Smith inside. So I mean, you can maybe move two pieces to guard and upgrade your guard position. I'm not blown away by it.
Yeah, it's not
in 49ers territory.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's not great. You know what I mean? But it definitely has a lot of work. Defense. What you think about the defense, man? Who's screaming at you?
Anthony Barr.
One of my favorite players on the team. Quick, fast, maybe to
Not top
me,
5.
the best Madden. Listen what I'm about to say. The best Madden linebacker. You feel me? The best Madden linebacker. Best Madden outside linebacker in the game. I'm gonna say that.
I mean, your defense as a whole has some nice spots. You got Robinson at the one end. You got Everson Griffin, who's really stepped up since coming out of USC.
That defensive line is a beast, bro.
And Linval Joseph in the middle.
Oh yeah.
Played. And you can't forget about your boy Harrison Smith.
Nah.
When you got a white boy playing secondary and he's balling out.
His name is Harrison. You ain't no white boy Smith.
Yeah, right.
That ain't no white boy, cuz.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That ain't no white boy.
He's like Jason Sehorn.
Now, I see where you know it can definitely use a lot of tweaking, especially in the cornerback, the strong safety. But I started with this team like this last year, and at the end of the season, I'm rating like a 95, 96. So I don't know.
So I have a question for you though.
Go ahead.
How do you feel about your old Cowboy Terrence Newman being your best cornerback?
He was my best cornerback last year. You know what I mean?
You know that's sad, right?
He was my best cornerback last year.
You know that's sad, right?
And I turned X-Man into a beast. I turned your boy Trey Waynes to a beast.
I mean, Xavier Rhodes is nice. He could be easily your number one, but I'm just saying. Terrence Newman, isn't he like 50 years old?
But while we playing, you know that rookie we picked up, Alexander, is better than Trey Waynes.
Oh, I like Mackenzie Alexander.
You know what I'm saying? Not speed-wise, but as far as man coverage, zone, he's better than Trey Waynes. So, I don't know, man. Just be looking out. Captain Mudland, I might trade him, first season? I don't know. So, I'm not going to say what I need to do to win this division because I'm me. What do you think?
I'll save that comment for later.
Okay. Gotcha. Moving on to the Lions. You know the team. Who has them?
I never thought I'd be saying this again.
Uh-oh.
I never thought I'd be saying this again.
Uh-oh.
Rio, the king.
Rio, the king.
I will say that even though he gets in arguments, he has matured somewhat in a Rio way.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
I feel like
and for everybody that's just probably watching the video and like, yo, what's going on? Yo, y'all need to like get involved in the TSG community, man. We have some characters, and Rio being one of them. You feel me? Just stay tuned.
I've had huge issues with Rio. But the one thing I'll never do as being a God-fearing man is I'll never hold hatred or grudges against anybody.
Right.
And my Achilles heel is I give people chances.
Right.
So overall,
besides all that, we you know what I'm saying, big shout out to Rio. Welcome back to the league officially with your team. Besides all that, on offense, what teams, what position, what player is screaming at you?
Golden Tate?
What? Are you serious?
Nobody else.
Ebron not screaming at you?
What, because he has 86 speed?
No, because the things that he can do, his size and come on, man. I know he has a low overall, but
Kobe Fleener's better than him.
Really?
And you don't know who Kobe Fleener is.
Really? Come on, man. Come on. Like, Megatron is gone. Matt Stafford, okay, up and down, whatever.
He's got 99 throw power. I think it's too much.
His next big target is who?
Golden Tate.
No.
It would be Ebron. I mean, that's every quarterback's, life preserver or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean?
Also, quick mention. Ebron I think he suffered an Achilles injury, man. So he might be out. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. But yeah, like you said, Golden Tate is your favorite on the team that's screaming at you. But I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one.
The reason why I'm saying Golden Tate is because it's not because he's the highest rated on their team.
I don't see no 5'10".
It's because Golden Tate. It's because Golden Tate is such a dynamic player. He's not Deshaun Jackson fast, but he's in that mold of a kind of a player where you get him the ball in open space.
Oh my God.
And he's dangerous. You know how dangerous
he is.
You get him that ball.
I would agree with you on that one.
With the fact that they don't have Calvin Johnson and they have Ebron, teams will probably focus on Ebron more, no doubt. I mean, not in real life now that he's out for the year, but they would have tended to focus on him more, and it would end up being either Matt Stafford throwing the ball deep like he always does to his fastest receiver in Golden Tate.
Right.
Or it would be, let's throw a little dump off pass, let's throw a screen.
And make him do his thing.
Him do it. And those dudes are dangerous. You can't deny the dangerous type of receiver that kind of returner receiver is. They've always had a place.
Yeah, right.
But
Defense. Who's screaming at you?
Ezekiel Ansah. That dude is just a monster. Elodie Nada, but he's old. But Ezekiel Ansah mainly. I know they got rid of their middle linebacker. Forgot what his name was. They still have DeAndre Levy.
Yeah.
They got Bostic over from Chicago. Darius Slay's a really good cornerback. He kind of burst onto the scene the last year. Glover Quinn Jr., he's all right. But nothing really special other than Ansah and Levy and what's his face that is mentioned? It's Darius Slay.
What Rio has to do to take this division from your boy, Jay Killer?
I don't know. Upgrade his offense. The one thing he will have this year is that he won't be spamming it to Calvin Johnson.
Right on.
So that might help him. That might be his biggest addition is the subtraction of Calvin Johnson. Boost his defense a little bit. Main thing, don't be stupid. And I'm not saying stupid as in him personally being. Don't be stupid. Don't sit there and throw the ball 90 times a game. Don't sit there and throw 75 interceptions in a season. Run the ball. Don't get frustrated because he loses to people when he used to lose to me, or he lost to you, or he lost to Murder, he lost to Sincere, or he lost to this person, lost to that person. Because he would get frustrated.
Yeah.
And he'd get out of his game.
Yeah. He's actually, I can agree to this. He's actually a good player when his head is in the game.
Exactly.
Me and him have had some battles. He's actually a good player when his head is in the game. But once you, like you said, once you get under his skin or he feels like he done lost the game, and this happens early in the game. It could be second quarter. He's down by 14. He'll start making some dumb decisions. You know what I'm saying? But if he can keep his head in the game throughout the game, yeah, he's a good player, man. He's a good player.
Mm-hmm. And as long as he doesn't plug a hairdryer up.
Yeah, with the humidifier and the toaster connected to the hair comb, whatever.
Yeah. That flat iron.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, next team. The Green Bay Packers. Who has their team?
First and foremost, Hoagie has retired. He was entered in the TSG Hall of Fame today.
Big shout out to Poggy. Congrats to Poggy, man. One of
Um,
my favorite guys on Xbox, not just in TSG, on Xbox, period.
And what we're doing for him, just want to go over that real quick, is we're creating a legacy award in his name.
Legacy.
Because obviously we could not always enter somebody into the Hall of Fame every Madden, or it would be full in no time with every owner.
Yeah.
But we're gonna give out a legacy award every year. Just somebody who's dedicated and plays their games, win or lose, doesn't complain.
Good sportsman.
Just good sportsman. Like, shout out to Fogey, man. He's my brother from another mother. I've known him since 2009. Got nothing but love for that dude. He calls me holidays, birthdays, everything, like just to make sure the family's good. And I appreciate those kind of people.
Nice.
With that being said, I'm
finna cut off my mic. I'm finna cut off my mic because I don't want to kid, man.
Returned to the Green Bay Packers, his old stomping ground. Yes, every time he was in that division, he dominated it. Yes, I have returned. I am the Green Bay Packers. I have given my Redskins up to someone else who is a fan. And I came to dominate Mr. J to the K, J Killer. This is my division. What you have to do to win your division, Jay, is hope that I break my Madden or that I can't pay for Xbox Live. This is my division. It is over.
Well, I was slobbering.
It's fine. It's fine. It's
What's
my
going
division.
on?
Anyway.
What happened?
Yeah, anyway, since he's over there in La La Land, offense, what stands out? Ron. Best quarterback in Madden. Best quarterback in the NFL. Honestly, in my opinion, he could go down in history as the best quarterback in NFL history.
Okay. Quick question. He's been in the league 10, 11 years. What you going to do when it's time to put in another quarterback and you get somebody like RG3? Because like I know, you can't play with people like RG3.
I can play with Jameis Winston, though. Maybe that's a move I'm about to make. Anyway, I'm going to develop. I'm going to develop quarterback. I'm going to develop somebody behind him.
Who you going to develop?
Who knows? Maybe I keep my draft picks this year. But, I mean, being like 31st or 32nd, I'm probably not going to get like a high quarterback. So I maybe have to trade for, a high draft pick because, mine's going to be towards the back of the line. So I'll just develop somebody. But, I mean, let's get back into the offense. Let's digress about it.
I know you're me and you kind of almost got the same play like when it comes to running backs. Eddie Lacy. What you going to do with Eddie Lacy, man?
Eddie Lacy's going to go to the TSG Hall of Fame just because he's Alfred Morris-like.
And I believe you. I kind of believe you on that fact. When I found out that you was getting this team, the first thing I went to go look at is Eddie Lacy's numbers and kind of mimic him with, you know what I'm saying, your boy, Hall of Famer, Redskin running back. And, like, that's crazy. It's going to be hard trying to stop that. And then with when you have your boy Jordy, Randall Cobb, these guys over the top.
Devontae Adams too. Oof.
Yeah, man.
And I got Jared Cookie Monster Cook.
Yeah.
As Ruger likes to call him with his 86 speed. Offensive line, they have 2 of the top 10.
I don't even want to talk about the offensive line. I think they got maybe the best offensive line in the game. Man. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, number 2 team rated in the NFC. I think number 3 team overall in the NFL.
I feel like you I don't know why you picked this team, like why you want to come to this division, but if you want to try to make me, like I said, I probably was going to take off this man and, just coast. But if you're trying to make me play, then the challenge has been accepted, homeboy. So now I'm back into Madden. You finna get the labbing for 72 hours straight. I'm taking off the first week. I'm taking off the first week of Madden just so I can lab hard. You understand what I'm saying? Just so I can show you that this is my division. Even though Madden 16, Sin came in and did some Counter-Strike, but Sin came in and did something crazy. But I was still right there with record 14-2. 13-3, making wild cards with a record like that. You know what I'm saying? But you
Well,
got me back into Madden.
I'll say this. Main reason is because I know that there's 2 other Redskins owners, and I wanted to give them up. I won my Super Bowl with them. No matter what people want to say, it doesn't count. Whatever.
That's a big shout out. Big shout out to yourself for doing that, man.
It's a great feeling to see. I was able to see, regardless of anybody thinks, I was able to see my team, my Redskins, hometown team, lift up the trophy on the game at the end of a connected franchise season. I don't care how anybody thinks about the win or whatever. Seeing that, I'm satisfied with what I've done with that team.
Right.
So I want to give somebody else the opportunity. I want to go back to the only other team. One of the only other teams I played with in Madden, which was Green Bay. I did play with the Raiders one season, but for the majority of the time, if I haven't been the Redskins, I've been Green Bay.
Right.
Number 2, some of my best games have been against you. Miracle in Minnesota.
It's crazy.
Somehow, I always end up winning or something crazy happens in the game. You win some too. I'm not saying that you don't. And I just remember when you first came in TSG and Madden 25.
I knew you was gonna bring this up.
No. I'm not saying like that. When you first came into TSG and Madden 25, how I got to know you was we sat down and we got in the party and we just talked about not even labbing playing the game, but we labbed learning about the game.
Yeah. Like I went a quick info real quick. Like when I came in the league, I was already in the league with some other cats, won the Super Bowl, but it wasn't as competitive as TSG. And I didn't really know the basics of like developing a player and all that. And I didn't really know none of that. Like I just come in, play with the team I got. Yeah, I'm finna win. Woo, woo, woo. Not worrying about salary cap, not worrying about developing a player. And got in a party with Monkey, and he basically just ran it down to me and gave me the game, like for real, like this stat means this and that and that, so forth and so forth. So yeah,
that's why I think it's cool that you do what you do on YouTube now with helping other people, because I've always been a fan of helping other people out. You know, I don't care who you are. Let's digress with the love fest because you're gonna.
Yeah, man. Defense. Who's screaming at you, man? Who's screaming at
you? Mike Daniels, number 5 rated defensive end. Clay Matthews, underrated. He moved back to outside linebacker on this game. I like my rookie Jake Ryan from Michigan. I'm also, if you don't know much about me, I'm a Michigan Wolverine fan. I had the opportunity to go to University of Michigan, but I decided not to.
Nice.
So I'm a big Jake Ryan fan. Julius Peppers, he's really good, but he's old as shit.
Yeah.
So it's a 1-season rental. Sam Shields, he's a Madden corner, 94 speed. Marius Randall. Their cornerbacks aren't as good as I thought they were going to be. Randall had a good year last year. Clinton Dix. I wanted my Redskins 2 years ago to draft him. I'm a big fan of his. And then you got Morgan Burnett, who's the top 4 or 5 rated strong safety in Madden.
Yeah.
I don't know, safeties aren't rated high this year. So, I mean, 85 being top 5 doesn't say much.
Pretty decent.
Defense is dangerous, in my opinion. Just needs some tweaks.
Now, since it's your team, I'm going to tell you what you need to do because I'm just going to do that because it's your team. Now, in order for you to win this division, I believe that you're going to have to do something with the cornerbacks, man. Like these cornerbacks, I don't know. Everywhere else, to me, is pretty solid. If not, it's decent. But cornerbacks, I don't know because even though from the teams we just talked about, you don't really see no heavy wide receivers, but besides Golden Tate and Ebron. But the next team we getting off into, which is the Bears, I don't know, man. Like these corners will have to bring it. You know what I'm saying? So, which brings me to the next team, the Chicago Bears. Who has them? What's going down?
I never thought I'd be saying this either. Welcome back. Kid murder, kid life, whatever you want to call them.
I need this, man. I need this.
I've always been a fan of his. He's actually played in Super Bowls before. He's actually competed at a high level. His biggest issue has been his attitude where he gets mad or frustrated and stops playing.
Right.
If he loses, you're cheating. And he's even said that it's just his competitive spirit. And I can appreciate the competitive spirit, but you got to not let it control you. And
Yeah.
he said recently that he's worked on stuff like that, that he's trying to get past stuff like that. And he wanted a chance back. And I'm always a person that wants to get players on their favorite teams because they seem to play better and play longer.
And another thing,
back.
like I won the Super Bowl, so I'm not really gonna be that competitive either. So you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about me, Murder.
You're not gonna be competitive, I know.
So offense, who you think is a key player on this offense? Who you think is screaming at you?
It's two people, Alshon Jeffrey and Kevin White.
Yeah, I'm going to say this receiving core right here, and I played Murder before. He's going to kill with Jeffrey. He's gonna kill with Jeffrey, man. And not to mention White, man. Like I just said about that cornerback situation, I'm gonna have to step my cornerback situation up.
Yeah, I mean, I played with Kevin White in Madden 16, and he was just a problem.
Like
that speed and that size,
man. It's going down. Like it's going down. This is the new to me. Jeffrey is the new Megatron.
The only problem that he has is he has Jay Cutler as his quarterback.
Yeah, which I don't know. Yeah. Let me check out his throw power and I wonder if he's a good Madden, like a good. See, his throw power is 97, which I don't know if it's going to be the same way.
It is.
See, I don't know if it. To me, he was not a good quarterback, but as far as a Madden quarterback, he was decent. So
but
I
he
don't know.
The deep ball.
Nah.
You learned last year 60-some deep accuracy. He's not going to cut it.
Nah, it's not. It's definitely not going to cut it. So I'm going to say Jeffrey and you say White.
It's Jeffrey and White. The combination.
Yeah.
It's obviously Jeffrey, but the combination of those two on the outside, and you have, what's his face in the middle?
Yeah.
Can't think of his name. Eddie Royal.
Now, offensive line, like those weapons don't mean nothing if he don't have an offensive line that can keep players like Anthony Barr, Clay Matthews, or what you call them out the backfield. You know what I mean? So, what you think about his offensive line?
I said this once already. I think I said it with the Seahawks, the 49ers. It's the worst offensive line in the game.
Yes.
I stand corrected.
Yes.
The Bears, other than Kyle Long.
Yes.
Worst offensive line I've seen so far.
Yep.
Atrocious.
Yep.
He's got work. He's got work to do.
Definitely got some work to do. Defense, who's screaming at you?
Good question. Pernell McPhee, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, he was the number 4 or 5 rated outside linebacker. Their linebacking core as a whole, I would say. With Jarrell Freeman at middle.
Yeah.
You got Danny Trevathan, who came over from the Broncos. You got Lamar Houston, who was a defensive end last year, I thought, for him. I guess they moved him to linebacker. He was a big free agent signing like 2 or 3 years ago. That linebacking core is probably the best spot on that team. I'm not sold with their defensive line.
And it's crazy how you look at these teams like the Bears and you look at the Lions. These teams are kind of on defense built around stopping the run. Like you got a crazy linebacking core with the Bears, and you got a nice decent defensive line with the Lions, like built around stopping the run.
Right, they have to because Eddie Lacy and
Peterson.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, the one thing that saves the Bears, I believe they're still running. Are they running a 3-4 or 4-3?
I thought it was a 3-4.
Okay, well, never mind then. Their defensive line's kind of suspect then. If they're running 4-3, I wouldn't mind it.
I don't know. Maybe it's a 4-3. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
It looks like a 3-4 with their defensive tackles because I forgot they drafted Eddie Goldman this year, and he's a nose tackle.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what they're running.
So what does Murder has to do to take this division from possibly a Jay Killer or Jess Monkey?
Change divisions?
Right on.
Nah, but seriously, he needs to upgrade the offensive line first and foremost. Find a Jay Cutler replacement. boost up his defensive line / secondary. All that's pertinent. I mean, you can go say that about any given team. So that the main thing he needs to do, kind of like with Rio, don't get frustrated. Don't start quitting.
Yeah.
Be competitive. But being competitive to me doesn't mean, oh, you're losing, so you're giving up. Being competitive to me, I'm losing. I'm going to figure out how to way to destroy you, even if I got to start gnawing at your ankle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you got to have that kind of competitive nature.
Yeah. So with that being said, the NFC North, who's taking this division? I'm finna start with me first.
Of course.
And I'm gonna say, look, this is crazy. Look, this is crazy. I've been to 12 consecutive playoffs since Madden 15. I've never missed a playoff since Madden 15, and I don't plan on missing a playoff. But the first year I always start off slow, and I feel like this is gonna be a shocker when I'm about to say. I feel like the Vikings are gonna take the NFC North. So.
Oh, okay. See, look, you started the.
Who you think?
Go Pack, go.
You have to say the Pack. Like you have to say that.
Even the Pack is back.
It's your team, and plus they're the best. They're the best team in that division. But anything,
it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, anything goes, man. Anything goes. You not only have to beat me, but you have to beat everybody else. So you have to be consistent.
I mean,
you have to be consistent. And I've seen in your game that, you'll win a season and backdoor and lose 2 seasons. Like, what's going on? Like, you'll win a season. Like, you'll win the season and win the division with Washington. And then backdoor and lose, like, horribly.
Complacent.
So, you have to be consistent. Because if you fall off one time, I'm taking it.
No, you're not.
Taking it, man.
It'll be, I'll say this. It'll be a race between you and me with Rio and Murder trying to pick up the pieces and make a wild card.
One thing it has done for the NFC North and for me, it has made me competitive. Because like I said, I was gonna take a year off and just coast, but seeing that I got somebody in the division, and especially with Rio and Murder coming back, like I'm kind of interested in Madden 17 now.
This is the most volatile division.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
This is this division has the biggest potential to explode, and not in a good way.
Yeah. Yeah, it can get ugly real quick. Real quick. So who you got taking it? Pack, right?
Me.
Yeah. Me. Right on.
You were a close second. You might win it 1 year, but
all right. Yeah, I don't want to hear that no more. NFC East. We get into the NFC East. My favorite division in real life.
Mine too.
So we starting off with Dallas Cowboys. We know McKay had them last year, but who got them this year?
It might be my favorite division, but that's the team that I hate saying the most.
Watch your mouth.
Freaking Dallas Cowgirls. Dallas Cowboys are, funny I say Cowgirls, their owner is the real law. I won't go into why it makes me laugh.
Wow.
He knows what I'm talking about. You and I know what's going on. He is the Dallas Cowboys lifelong fan. Thinks they can do no wrong. Dangerous team, but are they dangerous as last year? No.
So, offensive. Key. Who is it?
Key?
The key player they need to build around, the one that jumps out and scream at you. Who is it?
The player they need to build around is Ezekiel Elliott.
Okay. I can feel that.
Dez is established, Romo's established. But like you made the Aaron Rodgers comment, Romo's 35.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's 1 season away from going away. If Dak Prescott's gonna be your quarterback, or Kellen Moore or Jameel Showers, then you're going to have to rely on the running game. And another reason I'm saying that too is because Real Law said, I'm just going to ground and pound, baby. Blah, 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 blah. Y'all can't stop me.
Yeah.
And with that offensive line, which we already know it's the best offensive line in football.
Yeah. Definitely the best offensive line.
4 first rounders on it. 5 first rounders on it. 4 first rounders, and Collins should have been a first rounder. You know what I mean? So it's potentially basically 5 first rounders on the offensive line. Like, come on.
It's
Whatever.
crazy.
Like, so running should be the forte. So, yes, I could say Des Bryant, but Des Bryant's Des Bryant. You don't need to build around somebody that's already there as a beast.
So we jumped into the best line in the game. What defensive key you think is going to take this team to the next level and win games?
That defense is bad. It's
right.
bad. They have no defensive line, and if you're talking about in real life, they really have no defense.
They really have no defense.
They're all suspended.
Man. Like it's over with, man.
I mean, you got a young dude like Gregory on the game.
Man, let's keep it real, man.
Are you talking about real life or on the game?
I'm talking about on the game and in real life, man. Let's keep it real. They have no defense.
I mean,
they don't have no defense.
Hold on, but they have Madden pieces. They don't. Randy Gregory's a Madden defensive end. Let's be real. Sean Lee is a beast, but he probably has like a 13 injury.
Man, Sean Lee is going to be out of there. Sean Lee is gone.
Somebody could sit there and use Darius. Like, there's Madden pieces, an 88 speed linebacker, he's 67 overall, but it's trash. Like there's 3 or 4 players. Rolando McClain's probably going to come off of this game.
Yo, I'm a Cowboys fan. Like, for real. I'm a Cowboys fan. And I would never play with my team in this game. And Madden 17, especially. I'm not playing with my team in this game.
But see, look, I agree with you. If by the time we start, Rolando McClain's still in the game, that's a piece on defense you can work around. Jalen Smith is actually the player of the future on this defense that you can build around on Madden.
Oh, man.
Am I wrong, though?
I guess, but
76, 85 speed. He probably has a shit injury rating. But I mean,
yeah,
you talking about the future in Madden? It would be him, and that's sad that that's the person.
That's what I'm saying.
They do it, but him and Gregory are young. They're 22 years old. Like, there's pieces.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna stop. Byron Jones. Like, Byron Jones is a good safety.
Yeah, he is. I forgot about it. Yeah.
Barry Church, for some reason, on Madden can actually ball out. He did on last year's Madden.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm a Cowboys fan. Maybe it just got my body hurting.
Real life Cowboys are shit.
Yeah, it's
even worse. If they took suspensions into the Madden game,
he'll be dead.
Fucked.
He'll be dead.
Fucked.
He'll be dead in the water.
He's got to rely on his running game and keeping the ball away from the other offense.
So what do we have to do, like, right now to win in season 6? Because he's not winning nothing like for the next
win in season 6. He's gotta build draft picks, trade players, any player that's worth value. Not
the line, right? Because that's the best.
No, not the line. Like I'm saying, like, any player worth value that's 29 or older.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because in 3 years, when he's trying to make that last push, that last move, nobody's gonna be trading for a 32-year-old
right
Brandon Carr or 32-year-old Leonard Scandrick or a 32-year-old Sean Lee. You got to be willing to remove some of those guys now to let the Randy Gregorys and the Jalen Smiths of the world play, to progress them, to get picks or players. Don't go and trade Sean Lee and then get a 30-year-old 95 overall. That's dumb.
Yeah.
Trade Sean Lee, get a first round, and get 2 seconds, get whatever you can for him, and build that way. Hero showed last year you can actually get a lot of young players and become competitive. And that's Hero, who's a shit player.
Right. So, he really has to rebuild his whole team. Going on to the next team, the New York Giants. Who has the New York Giants?
Taking his New York Giants back after a 1 year hiatus because he wanted to show that he could compete with Ninja is none other than take out the one, and other than his one season in which he did make the Super Bowl and
he did.
Jay Killer beat him to win his Super Bowl.
That's right.
Other than that season, he really wasn't very much of a player. He was, what was that? What was that you keep saying about Sin?
Counter-Strike.
Oh, okay, that's it. That was takeout to the teeth. Corner strike.
Right.
Like, I remember watching his Twitch, and people would be like, "Oh my gosh, all he's doing is corner strike."
Yeah.
Like 5 different versions of it. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, man. Like, eventually, and then once people caught on, you'd have to do this and that to stop it.
Yeah, and then that's when it became like you can beat the corner strike, but if you have like a couple plays in your arsenal to where you setting up for the corner strike and then something else comes sin, then you just be dominant like he was. So
Exactly.
But it's okay. It's new season, Matt 17. Let's go.
This is really becoming this NFC because we keep mentioning his name.
Yeah, you just keep mentioning his name, man. We should just go to the wide receiver and just look at him.
Odell.
ODB. This dude, I don't know, man. What can he do? What can he do, man?
There's nothing he can't do.
Like, I seen a picture of him catching balls while he was laying down. Like, he's the new Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald was catching balls on some kind of science television show upside down.
No, he's a beast. I think his old running mate Jarvis Landry's better than him.
It's a good argument. I'll give you that. It's a good argument, but yeah, it's a good argument. It's a good argument. So that's the key player on offense. I'm looking at this offensive line. Tell me something.
Eric Flowers is decent. He's a young dude. Justin Pugh, he's pretty good. He's a young dude. Rich Berger's a good young dude. John Jerry, they could use some help. I think he came over from the Dolphins. And Newhouse. It looks like they need to solidify their right side of the line.
Yeah.
But overall, it's still young, and I like the pieces they have from the center to the left. Okay. It's not an atrocious offensive line. It's not the Cowboys' offensive line. But it's definitely not like the Bears' offensive line. It's like decent, middle of the road.
Defensive. Key player. Which one is screaming at you? I'm looking at one right now. You know what I mean? That's probably the only one that I'm getting.
Oliver Vernon?
Olivier
Vernon?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
So you don't think JPP?
I think Olivier is better than him.
I know he got a bit overall, but
no, I think he's better than him, period.
Really?
Yeah. Put it like this. I think that the fact that he has Damon Harris, who came over from the Jets, the fact that he has Jonathan Hankin, he has Olivier Vernon, and he has Jason Pierre-Paul, that fits right into how Takeout plays.
Yeah.
Takeout plays as the defensive line. That's all he plays as. That's all he does. And so he's the defensive line, and he's going to get off blocks, and he's going to destroy you. So you can name any of those dudes, honestly. And I could see where you could say JPP, but Vernon's faster.
Yeah, he's faster, but I don't think
he's younger.
Yeah. Is he hurting that quarterback? Just to go back to the offense. I like Eli, man. I really like Eli, but he's not really a Madden.
I like Eli, but I don't like
Madden. Yeah, he's not really a Madden quarterback. So is he hurting that quarterback?
Yeah, especially if Eli retires.
Yeah. So
see him. He's gonna do what he always does. He's gonna go and he's gonna trade Eli, try to get a strong arm quarterback, maybe some mobility, and live with the consequences.
What Takeout has to do to take over that NFC East?
I think that it's his already.
I was just going to say that.
Because the one thing we didn't touch on his cornerbacks either.
Yeah. I didn't touch on his cornerbacks because you was speaking about him with the defensive line, which he has some good cornerbacks.
Well, he has DRC.
Yep.
Janoris Jenkins and Eli Apple. So, I mean, those are all really good cornerbacks and good Madden cornerbacks.
Yeah.
So his defense on paper is dominant, And if he establishes any kind of run game and throwing it to Odell Beckham, Victor Cruz, the rookie boy that they got that's on the speed.
One thing I'm looking at is the speed of Cromartie at 29 years old. Now, if they like adjust the regression of a player, him keeping that speed 29, 30, and not, he could be good for a couple of years.
Yeah, because they said the regression's not going to be as harsh.
He can be good for a couple of years, man.
If he gets down to like 88 speed,
yeah, he can be
6'2".
good. That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy. All right, so we know what he has to do. It's already his. Let's go over to Philadelphia Eagles. Who got him?
Well, I got to take a shot at somebody right here because they say I take a shot at them every time I do something. So I got to be consistent. Like you said, I'm not consistent, Jay.
Got to be consistent.
So I know Chubbs is over there crying right now because this should be his team, and he's crying. Why does this person get him? He sucks. Blah 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 blah. Tonic has returned to be the Eagles once again.
I didn't know he left. Did he leave?
No. But there was much rumors of his maybe retiring and not playing, and everybody gets that way. And then the draft happens and free agency.
I think everybody gets that way when they lose,
and you get sized.
When people are on a losing streak, they think about retiring.
You got that right. I don't retire because I just turned Phoenix.
Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about it. That was a hoax. Oh my god, offense.
That was the greatest hoax ever. Anyway,
offense. Man.
I don't know, man. Jordan Matthews, Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz would probably be the standout player. Just because tight ends are, the life preserver. Jordan Matthews, I like him a lot. Running backs are decent. Darren Sproles can be dangerous, but Darren Sproles isn't Darren Sproles. He's only 87 speed. He's not dangerous anymore. The key to his offense is going to be this.
Matthews and Sproles in that Chip Kelly offense. That's what it's going to be.
No, it's not Chip Kelly offense anymore.
Wait. It's not Chip Kelly?
No, Chip Kelly's in San Francisco.
Oh, I forgot. Yes.
It's the Doug Peterson. It's the Kansas City offense.
I forgot. Oh.
It's the Kansas City offense.
Oh, man. Tonic is in trouble. He better start running Chip Kelly offense.
Well, I think Darren Sproles is washed up anyway, but I think that the Kansas City offense works perfect for him from what they have.
But the Kansas City offense is like a West Coast type.
Right. And it's a short passing, to deep passing, run, play action type offense. So he could have Jordan Matthews take the top off. He could run play action. He can run play action in boots and get it to Zach Ertz.
Okay, I'm going to throw to besides the tight end?
Zach Ertz, Jordan Matthews. Ruben Randall, who's tall and has some speed to him. He's a Madden player. Ruben Randall
has 85 speed.
They shitted on his speed like that?
Yes.
He was like a 90 speed like Madden ago.
Yes, but
and you can't forget Nelson Aguilar, their rookie from last year.
Yeah.
Him and Matthews are both 6'1" or taller at 90 speed.
Yeah.
Ertz is a big deal. You run if you're able to successfully run the ball and run play action off of it and hit short passes. You get 4 yards 3 times. That's the first down. It don't matter what you do. The key to his offense though is going to be him learning how to develop players, because his biggest thing was he knows how to trade for players, even though he didn't do it last Madden. I don't know that he knows how to develop players. If he can develop Carson Wentz, he's golden. But I'm not sold that he's going to be able to.
Yeah. Defensive players, who you think is going to set him up to have a good season on defense?
He's another one of those teams that has a strong defensive line. Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham. Defensive end and defensive tackle. I mean, those two dudes are nice. The one guy that he's always used, but has been his middle linebacker, but now is his outside linebacker, Michael Kendricks. He's a good player, but he is a Madden player. And he finally got love with his rating, his 88 speed.
I don't know, man. It's
left outside linebacker Kendricks, he's a beast.
yeah.
And you got him coming off the edge behind Fletcher Cox or Brandon Graham.
But Tonic is not really that type of pass rusher like that.
He's gonna have to learn to, especially now that he has Nigel Bradham on the other side, who's another speed dude who came from Buffalo, the 85 speed dude, who was a hard hitter. Like, with those two outside linebackers, there should be no reason with Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham up front that he is not bringing the heat. He needs to get to the lab with Blitzberg or somebody and learn some blitzes. I hate to say that.
So what does he have to do to take this division from takeout?
Progress Wentz. Boost up his weapons. Make some decent trades.
Yeah.
He's actually just got to try. I'm not saying that he's never not tried, but he's got to try. He's got to put the time into the progressions, and he's got to not get frustrated, and he's just got to make some moves. He can't fall in love with his players because he doesn't have enough of them. Oh, and don't forget Malcolm Jenkins too, which is the best free safety on the game, or fourth best or fifth best free safety in the game.
Yeah,
he's a problem too. But yeah, he just needs to progress his players, man. He's got a lot of young pieces. Cut bait with like the Sam Bradfords and other people of the world if people want them. Yeah. Cut bait with some of these players.
Moving on to the Washington Redskins. You like that, huh?
Of course. I hate that.
You like that, huh?
Of course, I've given them up, and I'm going to give them to Ruger. I think he had earned it.
New Bloods.
Corn was entrenched with the Seattle Seahawks. Ruger gotten bounced around every year for the last 2 or 3 Maddens. He was the Rams twice and the Chargers once. But with Jumpman coming to the league and being a Rams fan, I didn't want to just shove him off on another team. Yeah. And with me giving up the Redskins, I was like, Ruger's the perfect fit. He's from the DMV. He's a big Redskins fan.
Now this is one of the situations where I think this might surprise people when Ruger takes like a nice shot at that NFC's title. Because like you said, when people play with their teams, man, it's just something about when they play with their teams, they play a little bit better. You know what I mean? It can be a gift and a curse. Like with me, if I was to ever get Dallas Cowboys, Romo ain't going nowhere. I'm going to keep him till he's 47. I'm going to keep Dez Bryant till like 90. Like, I'm going to mess them all up. But, like, this is one of these rare moments where you get a team like what McKay did with the Dallas Cowboys, Madden 16, and they just ball out.
Offensively, he has so many decisions to make.
I don't see it. I don't see no offensive decision he has to make. Like, if you're talking about his line, maybe.
No, he has big offensive decisions making this point, Jay. Kirk Cousins is on the franchise tender. So he's got to figure out if Kirk Cousins is his quarterback because he might have to sign him during the season to a big deal. You know what I mean? These are things that happen in Redskins problems right now that are going to happen to him in Madden as well. Kirk's not the best Madden quarterback in the game.
I might have to disagree with you on that one. Besides his deep ball,
he's got 88. He's got 88 throw power. For some reason, his roster is 86. But
I don't know. I like Kirk Cousins.
I like him personally too. But as a Madden quarterback, I don't know. Another big decision he has, Jay, is Deshaun Jackson and Pierre Garçon are free agents. You going to hold on to those dudes and sign them to contracts that are big, which is what's going to happen. And Pierre's going to be 30, and Deshaun's going to be 29. And at any point, they could start dropping off.
And again, this is going to bring us back to the regression. Like, if he sees that the regression is crazy that first season, like, yeah, of course, he probably got to.
But he could be screwed by that time. After the first season in Madden 16, Deshaun Jackson dropped like 6 or 7 speed. And then what does Deshaun Jackson become? Nothing.
Yeah, right.
So
Offensive line, what you looking at though? Because I'm looking at the offensive line. Look like he might need a little work
I like Trent Williams.
on the right side.
Brandon Sheriff, no, he's a rookie from last year. He has some decent numbers. I think his overall is dropped by his awareness and stuff. Morgan Moses, knowing him being a Redskin fan, those are two young drafted players in the past 2 years that I think that you can work with and progress. Now, center position needs work immediately. Left guard, although I like Spencer Long, needs help immediately. Madden just hasn't rated either of those two players very well, nor should they have. But center help is his glaring need right there.
Yeah.
And don't forget on his weapons on offense too. He does have Jordan Reed locked up for the long term.
Yeah. Jordan Reed is a beast.
He has Niall Pauls locked up for the long term. And I know he's 88 speed, and he was actually a beast before he got injured last year. And so they have people. They have pieces. And even at Vernon Davis.
Yeah.
He could be a trade piece, if anything.
Yeah.
But he's got pieces on offense. He can have an explosive offense.
Definitely. Defense, who's jumping out at you, screaming at you?
Josh Norman.
That's
the obvious one.
I like the move that they made with D'Lo. I like the move.
Oh yeah.
With D'Lo.
At the end of last year, he was actually really, really good at free safety.
Yeah.
I think he rated out as one of the better free safeties over the last 4 games or whatever that he played.
So now on that secondary, you have Josh Norman, you have Bashard
motherfucking Breeden,
and you have some other guys they got a nice secondary. I'm looking at it.
Quentin Dunbar, I'm a big fan of. He was a rookie last year camp, and
who they starting at strong safety?
They're starting Dookie and Nacho.
Okay.
They're hoping that Bruton. And then you see Sua Cravens. That's the guy right there that in real life is a problem.
Yeah.
Because he came from UFC this year in the draft, and he's gonna be playing linebacker / safety. He's gonna be like Deion Buchanan was, but they expect him to play a lot of nickel linebacker, so he's gonna be a lot of blitzing, and he has coverage ability. So if Ruger's smart, he would move him to perhaps middle linebacker.
That's nice. That's probably be a nice move.
You know what I'm saying? Just so, because that's probably what he's going to play more. They want to groom him eventually to be a middle linebacker. That, and you pair that with Kerrigan, and I know Gallette's injured, but they have him on the game, and Gallette's good. They actually gave Preston Smith his props this year because he had the most sacks of any rookie last year. He had 8 sacks, and he didn't play in all the games. He needs some defensive line help, defensive tackle, defensive end. He's got pieces, though. I just don't know. He's got moves to make. Definitely.
So basically, which takes us to the next thing, what he needs to do to take the division away from the Giants, he has to make the right moves. What you're saying?
Yeah, and he's actually been pretty good at making moves. And the one thing that they do have with the Preston Smiths and the Sua Cravens and Rashad Breeland and some of these other dudes that are younger, even Josh Doxson on offense.
Yeah.
Ruger's really good at developing players.
Yeah.
He's really, really good at developing players. That's why I'm not worried about the right side of the line. I am worried about the center and the guard, so he needs to make those moves. He needs to beef up his defensive line other than Swaggy Baker. He has a shot. Yeah. He has a legit shot.
Especially in that division, to me.
Mm-hmm.
So we done with the NFC Southwest, Northeast, and we kind of know who are our playoff / wild cards. I'm gonna go with who is the NFC champion. The first, I'm just gonna say who's the favorite in the NFC coming out to be the NFC champion, and then I'm gonna go on and get your take on it. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a toss-up. I don't know, man. That's crazy. Like, it brings me back to me being competitive this Madden again. Like, I really don't know who's coming out NFC to represent for the NFC in the Super Bowl, man. Like, it's so many good owners. I don't know. Who you got?
Season 1, I know this is high praise, but the unknown factor and me having the best team in the game is going to hurt some people. I think Kid Cobble has a good opportunity this season, the first season more than any, to come out swinging and to at least play in the NFC Championship game against a Sincere, against a you, a me, or a Takeout. Honestly, I think it's going to be me, you, Takeout, Sincere, Cobble, and then you'll have Captain, Frame, Ruger, and whoever else.
But see, that's the thing. That's the thing. I'm looking at the divisions, and you got your for sure people who's coming out. Like, you had on the NFC East, you got New York. The West, you got Sin, and then you go to the South. You got, we gonna say Cabo, all right. Then look at that wild card. You still got Captain out there. You still got me and you. You know what I mean?
Frame,
like,
if he plays right.
You still got Frame. You still got Ruger. Like, it's
Corn if he plays.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only. Like, I don't know. It's what I can say is that I'm glad that it's shaped up the way it's shaped up to be. You know what I'm saying? It didn't pique my interest. I'm finna get back into competing now. Like I said, I was gonna take off, but now that I'm looking at it, and you came into the division thinking you finna run something, I can't let you do that.
I am.
So
it's fine.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But that's the NFC reveals. Man, big shout out to everybody in the league. TSG, thesimgamer.com. Your boy Monkey then upgraded everything. Monkey, tell them what you done did to the site and what's up. What's to come?
I just changed the layout some. I created new Hall of Fame banners for the old people. Of course, I had a Pokey to the Hall of Fame. New Super Bowl banners are up. We redid some of the graphical logo, just the overall look of the site. We have a mobile app now. If you're interested, hit me up. We're going to have these videos released sometime soon over the next day or two, hopefully.
Got a lot of people that's creating content as well, man.
Yeah, I know. Bo's got 3 videos on deck.
Yeah.
And the one video to keep an eye for is the release weekend. He's going to do a video for the 3 individual players, like players in the game.
Yeah.
Going into the Hall of Fame wing. I know Banco's got a podcast doing like a power rankings type deal. He's waiting for us.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's just a lot of stuff, and Daddy Leagues will be back up, and people just seem really excited. I think this might be the strongest group of guys we've had.
Yeah.
Because there's some good guys on the outside looking in that aren't playing. I don't know. I think it's going to be a good Madden year. I hope so. Madden 16 lost my interest really quickly last year, just with all the BS.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff coming in the future, man. YouTube.com, the SimGamer, THA, SimGamer.
Right.
Jared said the SimGamer.com. Make sure, I'm going to use this last second to make sure you check out Jay, No Gamer Left Behind.
Yeah, No Gamer Left Behind, man.
Amazing content, bro.
And I'm going to be putting out a bunch, like, I don't know if how players, I mean, how the owners going to feel about me putting out, sharing, like, money plays and how to build schemes and showing people different schemes. But I'm going to be putting out videos with that. So y'all just go to youtube.com /C/ again, JKiller TV, and go subscribe, man. We looking at 1,500 subscribers right now. I think so. My email been crazy, but y'all go over there, man. I'm finna put out some Madden content and all that there. TheSimGamer.com.
You got a Battlefield coming up, right? You gonna do Battlefield content?
Yeah. Battlefield gonna be what? I think it's gonna come out November, October. Is it October or November?
Like that, yeah.
And I'm jumping back in 2K, like.
And all your division content. That's actually helped me some on the incursions that I haven't done before.
Yeah, so yeah, y'all go check that out. there's a lot of content coming, and especially for the Sim Gamer, man. I want to. Hey, look, I want to do the podcast again. Yo,
Oh yeah, we're gonna do it.
I want to do the podcast. Like, I want to get some of these. Like Captain, whether y'all know it or not, Captain is actually a good host. I like Captain as a host.
I like Twan on there.
Twan is a hell of an entertainer. Like Twan, you put Twan in the middle of the desert, he's gonna make anybody laugh. Straight up. So
Mr. Calling for that.
I want to do that, man. I want to do that. Y'all just get back at us. Get back at Monkey, man, the mastermind, the big head scientist, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. That's it on my half. What you got?
That's all I got, man. Much love. Thanks for doing this with me, Jay.
Big shout out to Pogi, man. Big shout out to Pogi. Hall of Fame.
Pogi, Hall of Fame, man. You deserve it. People might hate, people might love it, whatever, but people don't understand what you've meant to the community and what you mean to the people here. And so we needed to honor you in some way. So big ups and Pogi, man.
Right on. But that's it. Peace. Blessings.
Hope.